All right, friends, so we've talked about measuring length and distance and volume and weight. And today, the last thing we're going to talk about measuring with the metric system is we are going to talk about temperature. Now, you're probably familiar a little bit with degrees Celsius. Now, we use degrees Fahrenheit to describe things. The metric system uses Celsius. We're going to jump straight into our book. We're going to look at the thermometer that they give us to see some base temperatures of when things boil, when things freeze, a body temperature to get a feel for Celsius, measuring temperature in degrees Celsius. So grab your book and we're going to take a look. So if we take a look at the thermometer they give us here, they give us a few what we're going to call points of reference or temperatures of reference. So we can think about what this temperature would be in degrees Fahrenheit, and it will help us think about Celsius a little bit better. So the first one that we have right here in the middle is normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So think about if you go down to the office because you think you have a fever, if your temperature is around 98 degrees, then they're going to tell you that you're at normal body temperature. So think about 37 degrees is about your temperature. Water boils at about 100 degrees Celsius and it begins to freeze at 0 degrees. So think about 0 is around like our 32 degrees. So what we're gonna do with these is we're gonna go through and think about these first 6. Think about the picture and what's happening in the picture and what would make sense for the temperature in degrees Celsius. The first one we have is ice. So think about water freezing. This one, I thought this one was really tricky when I looked at it. So think about it, looks like this little girl here is playing soccer and she's outside. So what I thought about is if my body temperature is 98 degrees, if I go outside to play on a hot day, it's probably not quite 98 outside, but it's probably a little bit lower, but close to that. And then we've got some friends on a sled, a little boy with a temperature, boiling water, and then somebody who's outside where it's cold enough to wear a jacket and a hat, but maybe not necessarily snowing. And these next 3, you're just gonna need to write the temperature. So in between our numbers, 10 and 20, we have 10 little tick marks. So each tick mark on this scale equals 1. Then at the bottom, for 10 and 11, you can't see on my paper in the video, but you can see it on yours. We have a little word problem over here telling us what's happening in the pictures, and then we have to choose the correct temperature. Then on the back, we're gonna go through, you kind of can't quite see all the way at the top, but the first picture we have a pond that's frozen over. Then we have somebody who's playing outside and it's cold enough outside that they're wearing long pants and a long sleeve shirt to run around. These next 4, we're just reading the temperature again, or 4 or 5 of those. And then on this problem, this is like those problems we had the other day where we have to measure. So you're gonna have to get out your ruler, measure it, and then give me the problem. Remember, this last one is gonna be an equal sign, and then you're going to have addition signs in here to add your measurements. This should look familiar. This chart right here is just like the ones we did throughout this week. So I'm gonna see if you can do this one just from memory and from having practiced this skill all week. I'm not gonna do this one with you right now, but if you need to go back and watch those other videos, you can. And then the last 2, I'll slide it up here on my paper so that you can see. We are marking the better measurement unit, and then this one, just like those others, we're drawing the line to match the tool with the term that it measures. So you're completing the front and the back. If you have any questions, let me know.